Hello gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Tanek127 and welcome back to another video. And guys, in today's video, as I promised, I'm going to be giving you guys my first impressions and thoughts on Gotham Knights. Now, before we get into today's video, I do got to give a special thank you and a special shout out to Warner Brothers for hooking me up with a review key of the PlayStation 5 version. So yeah, what you guys are seeing right here is pure PlayStation 5 gameplay. And also, speaking on the topic of Warner Brothers, that's also one reason why this first impressions video is pretty late. The PR team that they picked to handle these keys just did a really crappy job, even though I was referred to them by Alan Johnson himself, one of the lead marketers at Warner Brothers. It still took them forever and a day to get me a key. He actually had to help me out, and I still haven't even heard back from that PR team to this very day. Like, by the time you guys are seeing this video, I still have yet to hear anything from that PR team. So I do apologize that this video took so long, but now you guys at least know why. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk all things Gotham Knights. And first and foremost, when it comes to this, I want to go ahead and stress and talk about the big elephant in the room. The one thing everyone's knowing about, the 30 FPS. Is it that bad? You know, does it make the game unplayable and everything? Stop, guys, right here. Alright, I don't know where this mentality, where this mindset came from, especially us as console gamers, where 30 FPS is unplayable. But seriously, people need to stop. A lot of your favorite franchises started at 30 FPS on either the 6th gen or the 7th gen consoles. I don't know if a lot of people forget, but games like Destiny and stuff like that, they all started as 30 frames per second games and didn't even become 60 FPS until their recent current gen counterparts, like Destiny 1 and I believe even Destiny 2 were both 30 FPS on the PlayStation 4 and even the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One and Xbox One X, if I'm not mistaken. And this is a first-person shooter looter game with PvP and has been played at 30 frames per second. A lot of Nintendo Switch games played at 30 FPS, action games in particular, some even competitive games. Now, is 30 FPS optimal for, you know, and what should be the standard for today's games and stuff like that? In my personal opinion, no. I do think the standard for today's games should be 60 FPS. But if you're going to turn down Gotham Knights, right? I'm just saying, guys, and this isn't, you know, any sponsored crap. This is my own opinion. If you're going to turn down Gotham Knights, let it be for some other reason besides the frame rate. The frame rate does not hinder the game unplayable, and hopefully you guys can see that here in today's gameplay. But anyway, now that that's out of the picture, let's go ahead and talk about the game and what it has to offer. So, long story short, Gotham Knights is an action RPG, a multiplayer action RPG. Right now, the game is based on 2-player co-op. There is a 4-player endgame gauntlet-style co-op mode that is coming out sometime in November. Now, would I call Gotham Knights a looter game in so many words? Honestly, yeah, that's pretty much what you do. You run around the open world, you take on different world events and stuff like that with you and a friend. You do the campaign missions, you knock out bad guys, you get XP, you level up your character. You go back to the hub and you craft new weapons, gear, outfits, and stuff like that, and you level up your character. You have a skill tree to feel out. You have different rarity levels of weapons and all kinds of things like that. Now, is it a looter game per se, kind of like an MMO or something like Destiny or Warframe and stuff like that? No. This is more so an action game just with a loot system and ARPG mechanics in it. And me personally, I really don't think that's much of a bad thing, because, you know, it's at the end of the day, it's just another piece of progression for you to work on. All right, let's go ahead and say, you know, let's take the loot system out of Gotham Knights and all that, for example, and we'll just leave it right as it is. It's just a simple superhero beat-em-up game that you run through the story and you constantly fight and everything over. Can you imagine how boring this game would be if you didn't have that upgrade system or anything to work on with your character? Like, come on, guys. I want you to think about it. When you look at, you know, the different moves and abilities you can unlock, the different builds you can create with the characters, the different rarities of weapons you can craft with all kinds of different stats and things, where would this game be without that? You would literally just be running from mission to mission, doing beat 'em ups at the end of the day, and there would just be, there would be a story to carry it. But at the end of the day, you would just have that moving from mission to mission sense of progression. There really wouldn't be anything else for you to do. I mean, sure, the game has the option New Game Plus, which is an awesome thing. So, for you guys who really want to get to end game and fine tune your builds and stuff like that. Me personally, as y'all can see, I'm playing as Red Hood, so I'm not going to lie, I'm playing this game a lot like a typical looter shooter. And that's the kind of feel, I was hoping for out of this game. Me being an MMO junkie and stuff like that, a guy who likes, multiplayer action RPGs, loot grinds, MMOs and stuff like that. That was something, that I was looking for. So it was kind of right up my alley. But I don't think, that's such a bad thing. I just think it adds another level of depth to the game. And I think without it, it'll be pretty plain. I know not everybody wants, to go with the whole loot-based thing and different rarity of weapons. Not everybody wants to grind and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm just saying, it's something extra for you to do inside the game. Some other things I did notice about the game is multiplayer in this game is very buggy. Me and my girl Aki Rain, we were going on some missions together. She was playing as Batgirl, I was playing as Red Hood. As soon as we go and do our first open world quest, literally we're trying to stop like a bank robbery or something like that, and one of the characters glitches trying to pull the bag out of the bank or whatever, and they're just stuck there. They can't take damage or anything. So we end up failing that quest because of the game's bug, not getting the XP or the rewards. And mind you, we used a lot of resources to solve that quest because we were a little underleveled, so that is kind of our fault. But we ended up getting through it because I had a partner with me. And because of that game's bug, we did lose that. There's a lot of issues with multiplayer that I do feel the developers need to work out. Now, one thing I will say about this game, and here's the reason I play Red Hood, and this is probably my biggest gripe with it. Now, like I said, the 30 FPS isn't a problem, but the melee combat in Gotham Knights, it feels clunky, and there's just no variety to it, in my opinion. And like I said, again, this is why I play Red Hood, because he shoots. It was the only combat that really felt different, or at least to me. Like, every single character is using, some type of baton or stick or, some type of just slap 'em up device. Why couldn't we get 4 characters, with 4 drastically different weapon types? Like, Red Hood here, for example, he shoots or he smacks people with his guns. Batgirl, she has like this weird baton thing or something that she swings around. Robin, he uses something similar. And Nightwing, again, 2 sticks that he's just smacking the hell out of people with. Now, each character has a drastically different ranged attack, which I find cool. But the melee system in this game, I don't know, but just between all 4 characters, the melee just feels so similar. You have a heavy attack, and you have a light attack. You have different combos, which is cool. There's a good variety in the combo systems and everything themselves, but the weapon variety in this game, the weapon variety, in my opinion, is ass. It's just for the melee weapons. For the long-range weapons, they did a good job. Like, Red Hood uses the guns. Batgirl, she uses some type of like boomerang or something like that. Nightwing, he has this thing, this like bullet or something he shoots out of his arm. Like, each one is drastically different. But the melee combat in here, it feels so samey. I do not like this game's melee combat. I'm not really a fan of it, and that's personally, why I went ahead and went with Red Hood and decided to go with the gun build. When I first started the game, and I'd started the tutorial, and I was like, if there is not a way to use his guns in this game 24/7, I'm going to be very upset. And once I found out I could, it kind of saved the game for me. I'm not gonna lie, like that's my only real gripe and complaint with this game. Now, unfortunately, I haven't made it to the end of the game yet, so I haven't got to experience end game, new game plus, how the game's different high-end character builds are and things like that. But so far, these are my first impressions and initial takes of the game. The last thing and utmost thing that I do appreciate this game, is probably my favorite thing about it, is the lore. There's a lot of lore tributes in this game. One of the first fights when you're going through the opening sequence of the game, there's literally a big protagonist that's huge in the DC universe. He's actually someone you've seen in Batman, and actually someone you've seen in the Green Arrow for people who have watched Arrow. And you know, there's all kinds of references to different other DC universe characters and stuff like that. Roy Harper, Arsenal, he was featured like in an email from Arrow on this game and stuff like that. There's a lot of cool, you know, just like Easter eggs and lore snippets and stuff like that. And they do pay a good tribute to the DC games. Overall, the game's pretty fun so far. I've been having a decent time with it. But like I said, just the melee combat, and you know, it mostly being focused as like this brawler beat 'em up thing. There isn't much of a variety. You know, grab some other DC characters, give us some more weapon types. You know, give me a sword, bat, something. You know, just something besides two sticks to smack around at somebody. But anyway, guys, are you going to check it out? Let me know. But anyway, y'all enjoyed today's video? Smash that like button. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.